Welcome to the Church in the Wild podcast. You'll be hearing the words from worship from Sunday, December 28th, where we conclude our series on dreams. If you want to find out more about Church in the Wild and all of our upcoming events and programs, just go to churchinthewild.org. Thanks for listening.
In the depth of your hopes and desires lies your silent knowledge of the beyond. And like seeds dreaming beneath the snow, your heart dreams of spring. Trust the dreams, for in them is hidden the gate to eternity.
Our wisdom comes from German filmmaker Wim Wenders. What a great name. He says, without dreams, there can be no courage. And without courage, there can be no action. And so I welcome you to join in the response to this wisdom. If you've got the program, may we nurture our dreams in this season so they might guide our actions in the next. This December, we called it Dream Season, or the beginning of Dream Season, because even though December is coming to an end, I think Dream Season is really just getting started, or we're in full swing anyway. I think we can keep it going through January at the very least. Today, scientists and meteorologists and most folks tend to think of the solstice and the equinoxes as the mark to start the next season, right? Like the winter solstice means it was the beginning of winter. But what I find really fascinating is the ancient Celts knew the seasonal shifts actually started to be felt earlier at what they call the cross-quarter days. So they think of the year as a wheel, and the solstices and the equinox are sort of the major points. But at the cross-quarter days, that's when they thought of the season as beginning. So that's why the solstice time they would refer to as midwinter, because winter really started at Samhain, at Halloween, right? And realistically, I think that still tracks, even with climate change and sort of modern changes that occur naturally. We know winter starts before the winter solstice, right? December is winter. Even most of November. And so that's why then we have winter go until Imbolc, which is February 1st. So the season of winter, this time for nurturing our dreams, lasts for quite a while. And we have time to continue this work that we began this month. So I just wanted to name that to encourage us to continue the dreaming. And to know that February 1st comes a lot sooner than the spring equinox. And so we can feel some sense of hope and release on that day in February as the world does start to shift. February can be still a hard month in terms of winter weather, but there is a shift that happens that we can feel. So this is why there is a lot of talk as well about why January 1st is kind of the worst time ever to set resolutions for ourselves. We are still in the thick of winter, this sleepy time, this time when biologically we are not meant to be starting new projects or even trying to work on new intentions. but it is the perfect time to start dreaming or to be discerning, which is a word I really love. And different people will define discernment differently. But for me, discernment involves as much listening as thinking or talking. So we might do a lot of thinking, dreaming, going over our year, thinking about what we want the future to look like. But discernment has equal parts sitting, listening, and observing. I think discernment really means being open to the guidance of the spirit. And we know the spirit can speak in many ways through the natural world, through others, through that song that comes on the radio at the perfect moment that you just needed to hear, or any sort of thing like that. This is the season for dreaming and discerning, not for starting the resolution, not for getting to work, not for hitting the gym January 1st. No, don't do it. This is the time to simply take the time to sit back and dream about what you want the next year to look like. Our fast-paced culture has taken this season of dreaming and envisioning a new year and said, okay, let's get to it. Let's profit off of this somehow. Let's get people back to work on improving themselves. But we're not going to fall for that, I hope. We're going to keep it slow for another month at least, because dreams take time to formulate and settle into. Like everything in the natural world, nothing happens instantly. And no matter how well-intended we are to say, okay, January 1st, I'm going to be doing a different new thing instantly, it's unrealistic. So we want to give ourselves some time, use the month of January to get comfortable, to ease into a new idea of what we might want to try, and then maybe start taking the first steps come February. So we need to remember everything that exists was dreamed or imagined before it came into being, right? Even our universe, as we talked about the first Sunday of this month, when we looked at the Aboriginal concept of dream time and how the creator dreamed the world into existence, and all of the great things that came through taking the time for things to develop and evolve. So we're going to take some time today to nurture our dreams and to help ourselves imagine maybe a new way of being. Alan Watts, a British philosopher, said, I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted to dream. As we know, when we talked about our night dreams, anything is possible in a dream, right? Some of the most wild, incredible things could happen. The dreams where you're flying, that's so cool. Really feel like you got to experience something that you don't ever get to experience in the waking world. So we can do this with our daydreaming as well, right? Let's bring in an umbrella of possibility for ourselves, that today or whenever we sit down to do some dreaming, we just have this umbrella over us where anything is possible. Don't be limited by what you think is realistic. There are no constraints. Allow yourself to dream today as if anything were possible. All resources available to you. Nothing is limited. You have no other responsibilities. You could do anything. What would you do? That's how we're going to enter into this time together. So I'm going to invite you, if you don't have some paper and a writing utensil handy, to find something if you want. Again, as Missy reminded us, this time is for us. So if you just want to sit back and listen for now, that's okay too. We are recording. It'll be on the podcast. You can go back and listen later. But what I'm going to do is share some quotes about our dreams, our like daydreams, our hopes and dreams, and some questions to help you, to help us all start to tap into our wildest dreams for what we hope life might be like. And so I invite you to just write, free write. If you're writing down the words from the quotes, if you're writing down the questions, and we'll come back to them later, that's fine. If you're writing down responses, draw, get creative, whatever comes to you, words or images, just put it down so you can look at it again later. James Baldwin says, "The place in which I'll fit does not exist yet until I make it." So ask yourself, what if? What if I could do anything I wanted and had no responsibilities, even for one day? What would I do? Penny Johnson Gerald says, "If you dream of becoming an eagle, you follow your dreams, not the words of a bunch of chickens." In the past year, have you been working towards your dreams or someone else's? Meister Eckhart says, "When the soul wants to experience something, she throws out an image in front of her and then steps into it." Who is someone you admire or maybe even feel jealous of? Does that speak to a dream you have for your own life? Another way of thinking about that question is to say, what does your soul long to experience? Now, this is a question I came across that has really stuck with me. It's a big question. Are you ready? What is your highest priority in this lifetime? And perhaps it's hard to answer that question. But one way of thinking about it might be to ask, if you only had 6 months left to live, What would you do with your time? That's not meant to be morbid or dark, but to help us consider our priorities. I think it's important to ask this question as well. What if it's time to stop striving? Maybe it's time to fall into the arms of grace. What might you be clutching that's preventing you from grabbing on to your dreams? Earl Nightingale says, never give up on your dreams because of the time it will take to accomplish them. The time will pass anyway. If there is a dream or intention, a word or an image that's starting to take shape for you, what might be the first step towards it? Nothing you will do this coming week or even next month, but just consider what might you try come February. We might not have any answers today or definitive solutions. I love seeing and hearing these seeds of dreams, sitting with them, allowing ourselves to daydream more. What would it look like if I slowed down or had one day each week where I just went out and gardened or created? Living with intention makes you more accountable to yourself. I need to do this in this season. And I continually am reminded of the Nat Bishop, Trisha Hersey, reminding us that sleep and our dreams are the way that we imagine new inventive futures. We do not get to a healthy future being exhausted. When we sleep, we are rested and we're able to be more creative and solve our problems, come up with new inventive solutions, finding those workarounds as we deal with the life we're given. Our dreams help us get there. Even though we're dreaming outside of what's reality, they still help us map a course within reality. And yes, it's a relief, Karen, as you said, to sort of put reality aside and just let our minds frolic in possibility. I invite you now towards our time of meditation. So find a comfortable position in your seat. Find a soft, gentle gaze or close your eyes completely. And bring some ease to your muscles. scan from head to toe, bringing a little bit more relaxation to all of your muscles as you move from your head down to your feet. And I want you to envision all the visions and dreams that you have worked with in the past hour as we've asked deep questions. They might be drawings or symbols or words or just colors. They might be on a white sheet of paper or a bit amorphous, a bit unclear still, but in a ball. Envision your dreams before you. And as Henry David Thoreau invites us, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. Though your dreams may be cloudy or unclear right now, they are a shining light that will guide you. Follow them down the path before you. And hear these words from an unknown poet. Awakening. Before I looked and saw another, before I sought and could not find, before I cried out to the heavens, thought the holy was on high, then scales fell from my eyelids. My arms reached out to the real. The gate of Eden opened. Joy was all I could feel. Now I look and see the radiance. What I sought is in my cells. I am a chalice to the sacred, kneeling at the holy well. Your dreams are a gift from your source, the source within you. The sacred within your cells will guide you in the year ahead. Allow the light of your dreams, though it may not be clear where you are going. Allow the light to guide you, trusting that where you end up is where you are meant to be. Take a moment now to give thanks for your source, for the love that is within you and leading you towards your dreams. The love that is always with you. Give thanks for your maker who goes with you, for your community of support, and the wider web of all creation, ensuring you are never alone as you walk into the unknown of a new year, following your God-given dreams. Trust in this love that guides you. And we continue to pray that the Spirit will lead us to our highest and best potential in the year ahead. As you come back into this place, remember that that love is always there available to you, and that you are never separate from any other thing. Remember that your dreams will light the way as you walk into the new year. Thank you for sharing this time of meditation with me.
Thanks for listening. If you want to support Church in the Wild and the work we do in striving for environmental and social justice, just head on over to our website, churchinthewild.org, and click the donate link at the top. There you can make a donation, set yourself up as a recurring supporter, or you can buy something from our Redbubble shop. We're so glad you're with us on this journey, following the Spirit through creation, adventure, and restoration. Until next time.